Hello, Yang Gang. This is Not Man. Welcome to my channel. Make me think harder. I think that's how it goes. I'm going to talk about Andrew Yang and his op-ed again. Sorry, guys. I also want to talk about Paget Kagy and Zhou and their take on his op-ed. Everybody knows who Paget Kagy is. She's a famous YouTuber. I think I've been following her ever since she started talking about Andrew Yang. Lizzo is a journalist from Vox, VOX. She has history of being hypocritical of whatever Andrew Yang says or whatever Andrew Yang writes. So I wasn't surprised by her take on Andrew Yang's op-ed, but I was really surprised by Paget Kagy's take on the op-ed.
Hey guys, so you remember when Andrew Yang said that it would be really weird if everyone agreed with him about everything? Yeah, basically this is one of those times.
And sadly, this is one of those times I disagree with you, Paget Kagy.
The very last thing that I want to do is apologize for being Asian American. I am not going to do it, and I am not going to operate as though I need to do that.
Before I continue on, I want to share a couple of stories with you guys. First one, Aesop's fable, the bats, the birds, and the beast. I used to love reading Aesop's fables ever since I was a little kid. I think I could have read all of it, maybe not all translated version. This particular version was written by Joseph Jacob. So here it is.
A great conflict was about to come off between the birds and the beasts. When the two armies were collected together, the bat hesitated which to join. The birds that passed his perch said, "Come with us," but he said, "I am a beast." Later on, some beasts who were passing underneath him looked up and said, "Come with us," but he said, "I am a bird." Luckily at the last moment peace was made and no battle took place, so the bat came to the birds and wished to join in the rejoicings. But they all turned against him and he had to fly away. He then went to the beasts but soon had to beat a retreat or else they would have torn him to pieces. "Ah," said the bat, "I see now. He that is neither one thing nor the other has no friends."
My second story is a personal story that always reminds me of that fable. I'm a Korean American. I got naturalized when I was 18, back in early 80s. They make you take a test. I had to prepare for like 50 to 100 questions. During the test, you get 10 questions and you had to get 6 to 7 right. That's questions like, what are the meanings of colors on our flag? Why the 13 stripes? Why the 50 stars? Who is our first POTUS? What is the 3 branches of our government? And so on. Finally, they make you swear an oath. And here's what it looks like.
I hereby declare, on oath, that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty. That I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law.
Now that's proving your Americanness. After we got our citizenship paper, my dad told me, "Hey son, I served in Korean military for 4 years. You need to serve your country too." I said, "For real, Dad?" All right. At the time, I was attending a college, Oklahoma State University. I've shown you this before, right? They had a Air Force ROTC program. So I thought, Maybe I could be a fighter pilot. That'd be cool. It turns out you are in trial period for first 2 years, and you actually sign up to military in your third year. You still had to do marching drills, take flag duties, attend meetings and social gathering, and take few military history classes. One day, I was in my military history class, and Air Force colonel was teaching the class. Right when class was about to begin, he opens up textbook, then he closes it as if he forgot something. He looks around and he asks this question. If you are a naturalized US citizen and we went to war with that country, your motherland, will you guys be able to bear arms against your motherland? I turned around because I was sitting in the front. I turned around. There were 15 cadets in that class, small class, mostly white guys. I think they had maybe 2 white girls in there. No Asian kid except me. So I finally raised my hand, got up, and said, "Sir, I already took the oath to protect the Constitution of the United States when I got my citizenship." My answer is yes. Then I sat down. When I was taking the oath at the immigration department, I was simply repeating this guy. He was leading over 100 immigrants that day. I don't even understand some of the words in that oath, even to this day. I just remember being excited to be US citizen in that courtroom. My whole family shed tears of joy. In that history class though, I felt like a traitor to my own kind. Don't get me wrong, I am a US citizen and I will bear arms against anybody to protect our Constitution. But that commander, he played too many mind games. I did 2 years at ROTC and that's it. AA style. Maybe that bat simply didn't want to fight its own kind. It is a both a bird and a beast. That's why it hides in the caves and only comes out at night, so it doesn't have to fight all the things that crawls and flies. And here you are, Paget Kagy, Zhou, wrongfully attacking Andrew Yang, their own kind. If Andrew Yang op-ed was about Asian Americans having to prove their Americanness, I will be totally against it, just like Li Zhou and Paget Kagy. But I assure you, Andrew Yang is not saying Asian Americans need to prove their Americanness. I did a video just yesterday about seeing color of the dress. Remember that? And everybody see it 2 different kind, depending how your vision work. Depending on how our mind work, we read things differently. So I grant you that, okay? I grant that maybe I could be wrong reading it, and Paget Kagy is right, and Li Zhou could be right. Actually, I actually understand Li Zhou's stand more than Paget Kagy's stand, because Li Zhou don't know what Yang Gang knows. We all know Andrew Yang's very core motto, his core message, humanity first. Humans have intrinsic value.
I have a son with special needs. And to me, special needs is the new normal in this country. How many of you all have a family member or friend or neighbor with special needs or autism? If you look around, most hands went up. The fact is, right now, we have to do more for Kyle. Special needs children are going to become special needs adults in many cases. And here's the challenge. We go to employers and say, hey, this special needs person can be a contributor in your workplace, which may be correct, but that's not the point. We have to stop confusing economic value and human value. We have to be able to say to our kids and Kyle that you have intrinsic value because you're an American and you're a human being.
This is a very binary thing here. We have two choices, two. You either believe that Andrew Yang is fraud, or you believe that op-ed is not about Asian American needing to prove their Americanness. Prove. Here's why. Andrew Yang say all of us have intrinsic value because we are human beings and Americans. And that's one side. Another side says, hey, for Asian Americans, you need to prove your Americanness. Wait, what happened to our intrinsic value? We didn't have to do anything to be American, and we still had an intrinsic value. But now you're saying we have to prove our Americanness. That does not jive. They do not mix. You have to believe one or the other, right? I have a theory about Lee Zhou. Apparently, Vox News do not like Andrew Yang. They didn't like him as a candidate. They didn't like his policies. And it looks like they don't even like him as a political influence. When they talk about his policies and whatnot, they have other writers writing about him, and normally not good ones. But when they are writing about Asian identity politics, Lee Zhou is the person. She is specialized in that. She will take every opportunity to tear down Andrew Yang. Again, Lee Zhou has history of writing identity politic articles. She will never write articles about how Andrew Yang was unfairly treated by DNC and other mainstream media like NBC. She will not write about those, but she will write about all the Asian identity politics and tear Andrew Yang down. She will never write about his foundation, the Humanity for Foundation, where he raises 1.2 million to help the needy people in this disaster. She will not write about those. She's supposed to be, sounds like she's supposed to be champion of Asian American community, but she only tears down. She don't elevate anyone. She is not friend of Asian community.
Look, I was born here. I'm a citizen. I pay my taxes. I have lived here my entire life.
Kagy is a friend of Yang and Yang Gang. But the clip shows that she does not represent all Asian Americans. No one can. I was not born here. Some of my time was spent in Korea. I did have to prove my Americanness to get my citizenship. I know what it's like to have to prove my Americanness. Proving Americanness is different than embracing and showing Americanness. One supports racism. One is about supporting racism. Another is about getting involved in the community. Paget Kagy's position is more dangerous than Lee Zhou's position because Paget is willing to support Andrew Yang even if she thinks Andrew Yang supports racism against Asian Americans. The real lesson in Esau's backstory is that that bat did not get involved in any community, the beasts or the birds or of its own kind. we need to get involved. We Asian Americans need to get involved because, frankly, guns are pointing at us. We have disaster and we have racism working against us. We're not going to solve racism in this round, but we do need to bring down stress people are in because more stress, less IQ. If you're a Yang Gang, you must believe that Andrew Yang did not say we Asian Americans need to prove our Americanness. If you're a Yang Gang, you believe we all have intrinsic value because we are human beings and because we are Americans. Till next time, the man out.